Honorable Minister Alphonse, the respected Chairperson and the Secretary General of the World Forum of Fisher Peoples, Nasik Jaffer from South Africa, the Honorable Ministers from the states of Kerala and Maharashtra, Shri Narendra Patil, Chairman of the National Fisheries Forum, Comrade Sudhakar Reddy, General Secretary of the CPI, and other dignitaries sitting here, and my dear friends. At the outset, on behalf of the Communist Party of India, Marxist, I wish to express not only my greetings but my solidarity with the struggles that you are undertaking in order to protect the life and future of the fishing people in the world. And I wish you all the success in your forthcoming days, because this is, according to us, a very, very important issue that needs to be resolved, and needs to be resolved through the participation of the fishermen, fisher people, and the respective governments and international agencies. And a solution has to be found to stop this sort of unscrupulous ocean grabbing that is happening all over the world. That is primarily because fish as a nutrition is of essential importance to billions of people the world over. I mean, why it is important scientifically? It has been shown now that the fish oil or the what they call the omega-3, omega-4, omega-5 acids are the sustaining blocks of human existence, of life's existence. There isn't time, but I'd like to only briefly touch upon a very interesting scientific investigation that is going on now. It has been found that during the course of the existence of the human race, for about 197,000 years, due to climate change, whoever survived were living only in the caves of the African coast. That cave is now being scientifically investigated. Let's see what other secrets it throws up. But it is believed that because of that long period of time and living off the coast, the entire genetic composition of the human being was highly dependent upon fish oil and the nutrition from the life underwater. And that is why when you have the Genome Project, when you had the genetic map of the human race, you find 99.8% of the genes that are there in all of us are common. That explains the genetic origin of it. So the human body cannot survive without the nutrition, underwater nutrition. Vegetarians may use underwater weed, but non-vegetarians use fish. But without underwater nutrition, a human body cannot survive and develop. Given this importance, all this was sustainable because of billions of fisher people through small-scale fishing, who used to provide this fish to us and the nutrition. Today the world has entered into a stage where every avenue is being completely exploited for profit maximization. And that process of neoliberal globalization that is going on, public spaces are being encroached, public utilities are being privatized. In India now, except for air, there is very little that is not privatized. There is water that's privatized, public spaces are privatized, you pay to use public parks nowadays. And even air, given the smog conditions in Delhi, soon you'll have what you call ozone cafes, where you pay money in order to go and breathe fresh oxygen. So everything is being privatized, and ocean grabbing is part of that drive, according to us. And that drive, where you have big multinational corporations and the big corporates using through trawlers, displacing traditional fisher people and encroaching upon their rights and actually destroying their livelihood. This is a process that's happening globally. And that is something we are opposed to, in the sense, even if technological advance in terms of exploiting the resources underwater have to be deployed, they'll have to be deployed in an inclusive manner, in which the fisher people are also made part of this process and not excluded out of this process. And for that, I think all of us will have to struggle together to ensure that this will happen. But in the meanwhile, the damage that this ocean grabbing is causing is not only for the fisher people, not only for the availability of nutrition at reasonable prices for the rest of the people, but it's also causing a very, very severe and a serious environmental damage. And the scrapping of the ocean beds, looking for material that could be sold in order to make profits, that is creating environmental dangers, many of which we are still not able to properly assess. And that has to be put an end to. But in the process, what we have seen today is that the World Bank in its 2012 brought out a policy called Global Partnership for the Oceans, where the global partnership is more about maximizing profits and sharing those profits amongst the countries and amongst the big fish, so to speak, as opposed to the fisher people. And in addition to this, you have plans for tourism that are worked out. The Honorable Minister is here. I don't know, this Sagar Mala that we are talking of. Huh? The Sagar Mala that is being talked of linking up the coastal areas for tourism development. That cannot be done in a manner in which you displace the fisher people, and which is what unfortunately is happening now. So there has to be a tremendous degree of vigilance and caution. And as I've said, the process has to be inclusive. You'll have to include the fisher people in the process of either using modern technology or implementing these other projects. And that is the only manner in which I think not only the livelihood of billions, but for the nutrition for the rest of the population in the whole world, and the process of improving the living conditions of the fisher people who have continued to serve all of us for generations. And without that, I don't think many of us would be able to survive on this planet. So therefore, I would only wish to convey to you that we'll be there with you in all your struggles in order to ensure that this sort of tourism development of tourism concentration does not adversely affect the fisher people. And it has to be an inclusive process. We are willing to sit with the governments and work out how this process of inclusion can be done. Secondly, the ocean bed restrictions have to be put globally through global organizations on the indiscriminate scrapping of the ocean bed that is causing environmental damage. And thirdly, the use of these trawlers displacing fishermen or fisher people. And that has to be done through proper regulation by respective governments, whereby the use of this new technology and the trawlers, etc., cannot be at the expense of displacing your traditional fisher people. But a method should be found on how this inclusion can be done. And that, I think, is the responsibility of respective governments and to all of us to work out those measures. And in the process of working out those measures and the struggles that you're undertaking, I know it's a very crucial stage in world history where this predatory thirst for maximization of profits is ruining the lives of millions of people. In that process, your struggle is a very important part of it. I can wish you only all my greetings and for the success of your struggle and complete solidarity on behalf of the Communist Party of India, Marxist. Thank you.